Imagine you're lying on a coarse wool blanket, the kind that scratches your skin but keeps the damp chill at bay. The air smells of salt and pine, and the distant crash of waves against jagged rocks lulls you into a half-dream. It's the year 1000, or perhaps a little later, and you're somewhere along the Baltic coast, where the sea is both mother and monster. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that feels like it's been carved into the cliffs themselves. A tale of something strange beneath the waves, something that might be a gift from the stars or a trick of the earth. But first, let's make this moment ours. Hello everyone. Tonight we begin with a question at the heart of our story. Have you ever wondered, as you stand on the Baltic shore, staring into the inky black water, if something is staring back at you? Not a fish, not a rock, but something else. Join us as we dive into a tale filled with drama and surprises, starting right now. Before you tuck yourself deeper into that blanket, hit the like button on this video and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from and what time it is there. It's such a thrill to know who's joining us from all corners of the world. Now, settle in. The fire crackles nearby, spitting embers that glow like tiny, fleeting suns. You're in a village of low, thatched huts, their walls smeared with clay to keep out the wind. The Baltic Sea stretches before you, its surface glinting under a moon that's too pale, too sharp, like a blade left out in the frost. You're not alone here. The villagers move quietly, their faces weathered by salt and suspicion. They speak of the sea in hushed tones, as if it might overhear and take offense. And tonight, they're whispering about something new. A shadow beneath the waves, a shape that doesn't belong. You pull your cloak tighter, the wool heavy with the scent of smoke and damp earth. Your breath catches as a gust carries the tang of seaweed and something sharper, like rusted iron. The villagers say it was a fisherman who first saw it, a man named Torvald, whose hands are gnarled as oak roots from years of hauling nets. Torvald isn't here tonight. He hasn't been seen since he rowed out 3 days ago, his boat a speck against the horizon. But before he vanished, he spoke of a structure, a thing of stone or metal, half buried in the seabed. Not a reef, not a wreck, but something carved with purpose, its edges too smooth, its angles too precise. He said it hummed, a low thrum that made his teeth ache, and his dreams turned to static. You glance at the others around the fire. Their eyes are wide, reflecting the flames, but one figure stands apart, leaning against a post at the edge of the light. She's called Astrid, though no one knows if that's her true name. She arrived last spring, her clothes patched but fine, her accent foreign yet familiar, like a song you've forgotten. Astrid doesn't fish, or weave, or tend the hearth. She watches the sea, always the sea, her pale eyes scanning the horizon as if waiting for something to rise. Tonight, she's closer than usual, her shadow long and sharp. You catch a glint of silver at her throat, a pendant shaped like a wheel with 8 spokes, its edges worn but deliberate. The villagers call it a sun wheel, a symbol of the old gods, of cycles and fates that turn without mercy. Astrid fingers it absently, her lips moving as if reciting something too quiet to hear. The fire pops and you flinch. A woman across from you, her hair braided tight as a rope, mutters a prayer to Ran, the sea goddess who claims drowned men for her halls. The others nod, their fingers tracing charms against their chests. You've heard the stories. Ran's net is wide, her hunger endless. Offer her amber or a lock of hair, and she might spare you. Cross her, and she'll drag you to the deep, where the water is black and the pressure cracks your bones. The villagers believe Torvald crossed her. He spoke too loudly of the thing he saw, named it without respect. Now his boat is gone, and the sea keeps its secrets. But Astrid doesn't pray. She steps closer, her boots silent on the packed earth. Torvald was a fool, she says, her voice low, like the wind through a cracked window. He thought the sea would let him take its treasures. But that thing down there, it's not for us. Her eyes meet yours, and for a moment, you feel the weight of the water itself, pressing against your chest. You want to ask what she means, but the words stick in your throat. The villagers shift uneasy. They don't trust Astrid, yet they listen. She's seen things, they say, storms that parted for her, fish that swam to her hand. Some whisper she's a Volva, a seer who walks between worlds. Others say she's cursed, marked by something older than the gods. You think of your own life here, the endless rhythm of mending nets and salting fish, the ache in your shoulders after a day's work. It's not so different from the grind of a modern office, is it? The same deadlines, the same petty squabbles, only instead of emails, you barter with neighbors who'd rather cheat than share. But out here, the stakes are higher. A bad catch means hunger. A storm means death. And now, this anomaly, this thing beneath the waves, has stirred something in you. Curiosity, yes, but also dread. What if Torvald was right? What if it's not stone or coral, but something alive, something watching? The moral weight settles like damp fog. Should you join the others tomorrow, rowing out to search for Torvald's boat? It's what the village expects, loyalty to kin, to the man who shared his catch when your nets were empty. But the sea is vast, and Ran is unkind. You've seen men return from such searches, their eyes hollow, their hands trembling. You've seen others not return at all. Or should you stay, tend the fire, and let the others risk their lives? It's safer, but the shame would cling to you, a stain no amount of scrubbing could lift. You glance at Astrid again. She's watching you, her sun will glinting. Does she know what you're thinking? Does she care? The fire burns low, the logs collapsing into ash. The villagers begin to drift back to their huts, their murmurs fading into the night. You linger, caught between the warmth of the embers and the pull of the sea. Astrid hasn't moved. She's staring at the water now, her face unreadable. You wonder what she sees in those depths, what she's waiting for. The wind rises, carrying the scent of brine and something metallic, like blood or rust. You shiver, not from the cold, but from the sense that something is shifting, something vast and unseen. The Baltic Sea Anomaly, whatever it is, isn't just a story. It's a question, one you're not sure you want answered. And yet, you can't look away. The dawn creeps over the Baltic like a thief, gray and silent, stealing the stars one by one. You stand on the shore, your boots sinking into the wet sand, the cold seeping through the leather until your toes ache. The sea is calm today, its surface flat as a polished shield, but you know better than to trust it. Last night's fire is a memory, its warmth replaced by the damp cling of mist that smells of salt and decay. Your hands are rough for mending nets, but now they grip an oar, its wood splintered and heavy. You've chosen to go, to join the search for Torvald, though your stomach twists with something that might be fear or regret. The village expects it, and the weight of her eyes, those silent, judging glances, pushed you here, to this boat, to this moment. Around you, the other men move with practiced ease, their breaths puffing white in the chill. There's Gunnar, broad as an ox, his beard flecked with frost, and young Sven, barely old enough to grow a beard, his hands trembling as he ties a rope. The boat rocks gently, its hull creaking like an old man's bones. You glance back at the village, at the huts huddled against the cliffs, their thatch dark with dew. No one watches you leave. The women are already at work, their voices a faint hum as they gut fish, the sharp tang of blood and brine carried on the breeze. Astrid is nowhere to be seen. You half expected her to be here, her pale eyes fixed on the sea, but the shore is empty save for a lone gull, its cry sharp as a blade. You climb into the boat, the wood slick under your palms. The others settle in, their movements heavy with a kind of silence that comes before a storm. Gunnar takes the lead, his voice low as he calls the rhythm for the oars. You pull, the muscles in your shoulders burning, the water parting in ripples that catch the weak light. The sea is a mirror, reflecting the sky's gray indifference, but beneath it you feel the pull of something deeper, something that hums like Torvald described, a sound you can't hear but sense, like a toothache in your soul. You try to focus on the steady dip and drag, but your mind wanders to the thing beneath the waves, that structure of stone or metal, its edges too perfect, its purpose unknown. A new face sits across from you, a man you don't know well. His name is Eirik, a wanderer who came to the village a week ago, his pack heavy with furs and bone charms. He's older than you, his face lined like cracked clay, but his eyes are sharp, too sharp, like they see more than they should. His hair is streaked with gray, tied back with a leather thong, and around his wrist is a bracelet of twisted bronze, etched with runes you don't recognize. The villagers say he's a skald, a poet who carries stories from one shore to another, but there's something about him that sets your teeth on edge. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, his voice is smooth as polished stone, and his words linger like smoke. Last night by the fire he was silent, but you caught him watching Astrid, his gaze lingering on her sun-will pendant as if he knew its meaning. Eirik pulls his, or with a strength that belies his lean frame, his movements precise, almost ritualistic. You notice the bracelet again, its runes catching the light. They're not like the charms the villagers carve, simple marks for luck or protection. These are intricate, angular, like the tracks of a spider weaving a web. You've heard of such things, rune bands, worn by those who speak to the spirits or bind them. The elders say they're dangerous, that the wrong rune can call something you can't send back. You wonder what Eirik's runes say, what they guard against. The sea, perhaps, or something older, something that waits in the deep. The boat moves farther from shore, the cliffs shrinking to a dark smudge on the horizon. The air grows colder, the mist thicker, curling around your hands like ghostly fingers. You taste salt on your lips, feel the ache in your arms as the oar bites the water. Gunnar calls a halt, and the boat drifts, the silence broken only by the lap of waves against the hull. Sven points to a spot in the distance, where the water seems darker, almost oily. That's where Torvald went, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. You squint, but the sea gives nothing away. It's just water, endless and unyielding, yet you feel it again, that hum, that pressure, like the sea is pressing back against you. Eirik leans forward, his bracelet clinking softly. The sea hides what it wants to keep, he says, his eyes fixed on the dark patch. Torvald saw something, but seeing isn't the same as understanding. His words are cryptic, like a riddle you're too tired to solve. Gunnar grunts unimpressed, but Sven looks uneasy, his fingers tightening on the oar. You want to ask Eirik what he means, but there's a weight to his presence, a sense that he knows more than he'll say. You think of Astrid's warning, her claim that the thing below isn't for you. Eirik's words feel like an echo of hers, but sharper, laced with something you can't name. The men decide to row toward the dark patch, their oars dipping in unison. You follow, though every stroke feels like a step toward something you can't undo. The water changes as you approach, its surface smoother, almost glassy, as if holding its breath. You notice a smell now, faint but wrong, not the usual brine or fish, but something metallic, like blood left to dry on iron. Your heart beats faster, a drum against your ribs. You glance at Eirik, but he's focused on the water, his lips moving silently, as if reciting the runes on his bracelet. You wonder if he's praying, or if he's calling something else. The moral conflict rises like bile in your throat. You could speak up, tell the others to turn back. The sea is too still, too strange, and Torvald's fate feels like a warning carved in the waves. You've seen what happens to those who defy the sea. Boats splintered on rocks, men washed ashore with eyes wide and empty. But if you speak, they'll call you a coward. Gunnar will laugh, his voice booming, and Sven will look at you with pity. The village will whisper, their trust in you eroding like sand. Or you could stay silent, keep rowing, and risk whatever lies ahead. Loyalty to Torvald, to the village, demands it, but loyalty might mean death. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a different kind of choice. Speak up in a meeting and risk ridicule, or stay quiet and keep your job. Here, the stakes are colder, sharper, final. The boat glides closer to the dark patch, and the hum grows stronger, not a sound but a sensation, vibrating in your bones. Sven gasps, pointing at the water. You lean over the edge, your breath catching. Below, just visible through the glassy surface, is a shape, massive, angular, its edges cutting into the seabed like a blade. It's not a reef, not a wreck. It's too smooth, too deliberate, like something built by hands that weren't human. The men fall silent, their oars still. Eirik's eyes narrow, his bracelet glinting as he grips the boat's edge. "It's a wake," he whispers, so softly you're not sure you heard him right. The sea ripples, a single wave breaking the mirror. You feel it then, a pull, not physical but deeper, like the thing below is reaching for you. It's hum a question you don't want to answer. Gunnar curses, his voice shaky, and Sven looks like he might cry. You're caught between them, between the village's expectations and the sea's secrets, between Eirik's cryptic warnings and the shape that shouldn't exist. The oar is still in your hands, heavy as fate. Do you row forward, or do you beg them to turn back? The sea waits, patient and merciless, and you know it's watching. Are you still here with me? If you're hooked on this story so far, feel free to drop a question in the comments. I'd love to know what's on your mind right now. And now, let's continue this journey together. The boat hovers over the dark patch, its hull a fragile shell against the vastness of the Baltic. You clutch the oar, your knuckles white, the wood biting into your palms like a warning. The shape beneath the water looms larger now, its angular edges cutting through the seabed's soft curves, a wound in the earth skin. The hum is undeniable, a pulse that thrums in your chest, not loud but insistent, like a heartbeat you can't ignore. The air is heavy with mist, so thick it clings to your face, tasting of salt and something acrid, like burnt metal. Gunnar's curse hangs in the air, Sven's wide eyes dart between the water and the men, and Eirik's whisper, "It's a wake," echoes in your mind, a splinter you can't pull free. You didn't speak up, didn't beg them to turn back. Silence won, and now you're here, staring into the sea's unblinking eye. The men are frozen, their oars limp in the water. The sea is too still, a mirror that reflects your fear back at you. You glance at Eirik, his rune-etched bracelet glinting as he leans over the edge, his face unreadable. Gunnar shifts, his bulk making the boat sway, and mutters something about Rant's wrath. Sven grips his, or like a lifeline, his breath shallow. You want to move, to do something, but the weight of the moment pins you in place. The shape below isn't just a thing, it's a presence, a question that demands an answer. Is it a relic of gods, a trap of spirits, or something stranger, something that doesn't belong to this world? A new voice breaks the silence, low and gravelly, like stones grinding together. It's not Gunnar, not Sven, not Eirik. You turn, your heart lurching, and see him. A man you hadn't noticed before, though he must have been there all along. He sits at the boat's stern, his hands resting on his knees, his cloak dark and heavy with seawater. His name, you recall, is Rolf, though no one speaks of him much. He's a drifter, older than Eirik, his beard white as frost, his eyes clouded like the sky before storm. The villagers tolerate him, letting him sleep in the boathouse. but they keep their distance. Rolf doesn't fish or trade. He carves endless patterns into driftwood, spirals, and knots that twist the eye. You've seen his work left on the shore like offerings. A whale's rib etched with curling lines, a plank scored with shapes that seem to move in the firelight. Rolf's hands are still now, but around his neck hangs a pendant, not silver like Astrid's but bone, yellowed and worn, shaped like a coiled serpent biting its own tail. You've heard of such things, Jormungandr, the world serpent, a symbol of the sea's endless hunger, of cycles that crush and renew. The villagers fear it, whispering that to wear the serpent is to invite its gaze, to bind yourself to the deep. Rolf doesn't seem to care. His eyes are fixed on the water, on the shape below, and when he speaks again, his voice is steady, almost amused. You think you can look at it and walk away, he says, not to anyone in particular. The sea doesn't give back what it claims. You shiver, the mist curling colder around your neck. The boat rocks gently, though no one moves. Gunnar snaps at Rolf to be quiet, but there's no force in his voice, only unease. Sven stares at the pendant, his lips moving as if praying, though no sound comes. Eirik, for once, is silent, his sharp eyes flicking between Rolf and the water. You wonder what Rolf knows, what he's seen. The villagers say he was a sailor once, before he came to the village, his ship lost in a storm that spared only him. They say he speaks to the waves, that he hears things in the wind. Voices, warnings, laughter. You've never believed the stories, but now, with the hum in your bones and the shape beneath you, you're not so sure. The men argue, their voices low but tense. Gunnar wants to dive, to see the thing up close. Torvald's out here somewhere, he says, though you hear the doubt in his words. Sven shakes his head, his voice cracking as he begs to return to shore. Eirik says nothing, his fingers tracing the runes on his bracelet, as if they hold the answer. Rolf chuckles, a dry sound that makes your skin crawl. Dive if you want, he says to Gunnar, but you won't come back the same. His words linger, heavy as the mist, and you feel the truth in them, though you don't know why. The moral conflict claws at you now, sharper than before. You could side with Sven, urge the boat to turn back. The shape below is wrong, its hum a lure, like the songs of spirits that lead men to their deaths. You've heard the stories, sailors drawn to glowing lights, only to vanish into the deep. Turning back means safety, maybe, but it also means abandoning Torvald, if he's still alive. It means facing the village's scorn, their whispers of cowardice, the kind of shame that follows you like a shadow. Or you could push forward, agree with Gunnar, dive into the water yourself. Prove your courage, your loyalty, even if it means risking everything. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this on a screen. Click send on a risky email, or delete it and stay safe. Here, the choice is written in water and blood, and there's no undoing it. You look at Rolf, at the serpent pendant glinting against his weathered skin. His eyes meet yours, and for a moment you feel exposed, as if he sees the fear you're trying to hide. The sea chooses, he says, his voice soft now, almost kind. Not you. You don't know if he's warning you or mocking you, but the words settle in your gut like stones. The hum grows stronger, a vibration that makes your teeth ache, your vision blur. The shape below seems to shift, its edges sharpening, as if it's turning to face you. You blink, unsure if it's the mist or your fear playing tricks. Gunnar stands, the boat tilting under his weight. He's decided, you can see it in his eyes, wild, determined, the look of a man who's run out of doubts. He ties a rope around his waist, the other end secured to the boat. I'm going down, he says, his voice firm, though you catch the tremor in it. Sven protests, his words tumbling over each other, but Gunnar ignores him. Eirik watches, his face a mask, his bracelet still. Rolf leans back, his pendant swaying, and hums a tune you don't recognize, low and mournful, like a dirge for the drowned. You could stop Gunnar, grab the rope, shout that it's madness. The sea is too cold, the shape too strange, and Rolf's words ring true. You won't come back the same. But stopping him means defying the village's unspoken code, the bond that holds you all together. It means taking his place as the one who decides, the one who bears the blame if Torvald is never found. Or you could let him go, stay silent, and watch as the sea swallows another piece of your world. The hum pulses, a rhythm that matches your heartbeat, and you feel it pulling you, not toward the water, but inward, toward a truth you're not ready to face. Gunnar steps to the edge, the rope taut in his hands. The mist swirls, the air thick with that metallic tang, stronger now, like a blade left in the rain. You glance at Rolf again, at the serpent pendant, its coiled form a reminder of the sea's endless hunger. He's watching you, not Gunnar, his clouded eyes steady, as if he knows what you'll choose. The boat creaks, the water laps, and the shape below waits, its hum a song that promises answers you might not survive. Gunnar's shadow looms over the boat's edge, the rope taut in his hands, a lifeline that feels more like a noose. You sit frozen, the oar heavy in your lap, its splintered wood a reminder of your silence. The hum from the shape below pulses stronger now, a rhythm that syncs with your racing heart, vibrating through the boat's hull like a warning carved in bone. The mist swirls thicker, the air sharp with that metallic tang, like blood on a blade left to rust. Sven's protests have faded to a whimper, his face pale as the moon. Eirik's eyes are fixed on the water, his rune bracelet still, while Rolf's serpent pendant sways as he hums that mournful tune, his clouded gaze locked on you, not Gunnar. You didn't stop him. You couldn't. The village's code, the weight of loyalty, the fear of shame, it all held your tongue. And now Gunnar steps into the void. He dives, a heavy splash breaking the sea's glassy surface. The rope uncoils, slithering over the edge like a living thing, and the boat rocks violently, nearly tipping you into the water. You grip the side, your breath catching as the cold spray stings your face, tasting of salt and something bitter, like ash. The rope tightens, then slackens, a pulse that mirrors the hum below. Sven stares at the spot where Gunnar vanished, his lips moving in silent prayer. Eirik leans forward, his sharp eyes tracking the rope's movement, while Rolf's hum grows softer, almost a whisper, as if he's singing to the sea itself. You wait, the seconds stretching into eternity, the mist curling around your hands like a shroud. The shape below is clearer now, its angular form cutting through the water's murk, its edges glinting faintly, as if catching light from a source you can't see. A new figure moves at the boat's bow, someone you hadn't noticed in the chaos of Gunnar's dive. Her name is Frida, a woman who keeps to herself. Her presence, so quiet she's almost invisible among the villagers. She's younger than Rolf, but older than you. Her hair a tangle of black streaked with gray, tied loosely with a strip of cloth. Her hands are calloused, not from fishing, but from weaving. Her fingers stained with the dyes she uses to craft intricate patterns, knots and spirals that adorn the village's sails and cloaks. Frida doesn't speak often, but when she does, her words are precise, like arrows finding their mark. The villagers respect her, though some whisper she knows too much, that her patterns aren't just art but spells, woven to bind or banish. Around Frida's wrist is a cord, thin and dark, threaded with tiny shells that clink softly as she moves. You've seen such things before, wave charms, the villagers call them, worn to appease the sea spirits, to ensure safe passage or a bountiful catch. But Frida's charm is different. The shells arranged in a pattern that seems to shift, like ripples frozen in time. The elders say such charms are older than the gods, tied to the sea's first breath, when it swallowed the world and spat it back, to where one is to carry the sea's favor or its curse. Frida's eyes are on the water now, not the rope, her face calm but tense, like someone listening for a sound just out of reach. The rope jerks suddenly, pulling taut, and Sven gasps, nearly dropping his oar. You lean forward, your heart pounding, expecting Gunnar to break the surface, his beard dripping, his eyes wide with whatever he's seen. But the water stays still, the rope unmoving, as if something below is holding it fast. Eirik curses under his breath, his fingers tightening on his bracelet, the runes glinting like eyes. Rolf's humming stops, his serpent pendant still, and he tilts his head, as if hearing something you can't. Frida shifts, her shells clinking, and speaks for the first time. Her voice low but clear, like a bell in the fog. "He's too close," she says, her eyes still on the water. The sea doesn't like it. You want to ask what she means, but the words stick in your throat. The hum is louder now, a pressure that makes your ears ring, your vision swim. The shape below seems to pulse, its edges sharpening, as if it's waking, responding to Gunnar's intrusion. You think of Torvald, of his boat lost to the waves, of his talk of a structure that hummed, that stole his dreams. Is this what he saw, what he felt? Is Gunnar seeing it now, his hands brushing against stone or metal, his lungs burning as the sea presses in? The rope twitches again, a small movement, but enough to make Sven cry out, his voice raw with fear. Frida stands, the boat swaying under her weight. She reaches for the rope, her shells clinking like a warning, and begins to pull, her movements steady but urgent. You move to help, your hands trembling as you grip the coarse hemp, its fibers rough against your skin. Eirik joins you, his strength surprising for his lean frame, while Sven watches, too scared to move. Rolf stays seated, his eyes narrowed, his pendant glinting as he mutters something too soft to hear. The rope is heavy, heavier than it should be, as if Gunnar is fighting to stay below, or something else is holding him. You pull harder, your shoulders aching, the mist stinging your eyes, the metallic tang, so strong it coats your tongue. The moral conflict rises like a wave, cold and relentless. You could keep pulling, fight to bring Gunnar back, honor the bond that sent you out here, the loyalty that defines the village. But the rope is wrong, too heavy, too still, and Frida's words echo in your mind. The sea doesn't like it. What if pulling the rope angers whatever lies below, wakes it fully, draws its gaze to you all? You've heard the stories, ships swallowed by sudden storms, men dragged to the deep by hands that weren't human. Letting go, cutting the rope, might save you, might spare the boat from the sea's wrath. But it means abandoning Gunnar, leaving him to the same fate as Torvald, a betrayal that will mark you, a stain the village will never forgive. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a split second. Cut a toxic friend loose, or keep trying to save them, knowing it might drag you down too. Here, the choice is heavier, written in rope and water, and there's no going back. Frida pulls harder, her shells clinking, her face set in grim determination. You match a rhythm, though every tug feels like a step towards something you can't undo. Eirik grunts with effort, his bracelet flashing, while Sven whispers prayers to Ran, his voice shaking. Rolf watches, his serpent pendant a silent witness, his expression unreadable. The hum grows unbearable, a vibration that rattles your bones, makes your teeth ache. The shape below shifts again, its edges glowing faintly, a sickly green that cuts through the water's murk. You blink, unsure if it's real or a trick of the mist, but the glow pulses, matching the hum, like a heartbeat from something vast and alive. The rope jerks violently, nearly yanking you over the edge. Frida stumbles but holds fast, her shells clinking like chimes in a storm. You grip tighter, your hands burning, the rope slick with seawater and something else, something dark and oily that stains your fingers. Sven screams a raw animal sound and points at the water. You look, your breath catching. The glow is brighter now, spreading from the shape below, tendrils of light curling upward, like fingers reaching for the surface. The hum is a song now, not music, but a call, a command that tugs at your mind, urging you to let go, to dive, to see. Frida's voice cuts through the haze, sharp and urgent. Don't look at it, she says, her eyes on the rope, not the water. Keep pulling. You obey, though every instinct screams to drop the rope, to row away, to flee the light and the hum and the thing that shouldn't be. Eirik pulls with you, his face pale, his runes glinting like stars. Rolf's muttering grows louder, a chant in a tongue you don't know, his pendant swaying as if caught in a wind you can't feel. The rope moves inch by inch, but it's fighting you, resisting, as if the sea itself is pulling back. The glow pulses faster, the hum a roar in your skull. The boat creaks, the water ripples, and the shape below seems to rise, its edges clearer, its form massive, impossible. You see it now, not stone, not metal, but something else, something that bends the water around it, something too that watches. The rope burns in your hands, the oily stain spreading, and you feel it, a presence, not just below, but inside you, a question you can't answer, a truth you can't face. Frida pulls, you pull, the boat rocks, and the sea waits, its hunger endless, its patience eternal. The rope burns in your hands, its fibers slick with that dark, oily stain that clings like a curse. You pull, your muscles screaming, the boat rocking as Frida's shells clink in rhythm with each heave. The hum from the shape below is a roar now, a force that presses against your skull, making your vision blur and your teeth grind. The sickly green glow pulses faster, its tendrils curling through the water like veins, reaching for the surface, for you. Eirik's face is pale, his rune bracelet glinting as he pulls beside you, while Sven's prayers to Ran have dissolved into sobs, his or forgotten. Rolf's chant grows louder, a guttural drone that weaves into the hum, his serpent pendant swaying as if alive. The sea is no longer still, its surface rippling, small waves lapping against the boat with a sound like whispers in a language you don't know. You didn't let go, didn't cut the rope. Loyalty, fear, or something else kept your hands on it, and now you're bound to whatever comes next. The rope jerks again, so violently it nearly tears from your grip. Frida stumbles, her shells clinking wildly, but she holds fast, her eyes fierce, locked on the water. You pull harder, the oily stain spreading up your arms, it smells sharp and wrong, like metal left in a fire. The glow below brightens, a sickly light that makes the mist glow, casting shadows that twist and flicker across the boat. You catch a glimpse of the shape, massive, angular, its surface smooth yet jagged, like a blade forged by no human hand. It's closer now, too close, as if rising to meet you. Its hum a call that tugs at your mind, urging you to look, to understand, to surrender. Frida's warning, don't look, echoes in your head, but it's hard to obey when the light seems to know you, to see you. A new figure stirs at the boat's edge, someone you hadn't noticed in the chaos of pulling the rope. His name is Kettle, a man who arrived in the village only days ago, his presence barely acknowledged amid the talk of Torvald's disappearance. He's lean, almost gaunt, his face sharp as a flint, with eyes that seem too bright, like embers in a dying fire. His cloak is patched, stained with salt and soot, and his hands are scarred, not from fishing, but from some craft you can't place, perhaps a smith, though no forge glows in the village. Kettle speaks little, but when he does, his voice is soft, almost soothing, yet it carries a weight that makes you listen. The villagers avoid him, not out of fear but unease, as if his presence shifts the air, makes it heavier. Around Kettle's neck hangs a small pouch, leather-worn thin, tied with a cord that looks like braided sinew. You've seen such things before, spirit bags, the elders call them, filled with herbs, bones, or charms to ward off the unseen. The villagers wear them for protection, but Kettle's is different. Its surface marked with a single symbol, a triangle pierced by a line, like an eye or a wound. The elders say such symbols are old, tied to the spirits that walk the sea's edge, neither god nor demon, but something in between. To carry one is to court their attention, to walk a line between blessing and doom. Kettle's fingers brush the pouch now, absently, as he stares at the water, his bright eyes fixed on the glowing shape below. The rope moves inch by agonizing inch, but it's heavier than ever, as if Gunnar is caught in a net of light and shadow. Frida grunts, her shells clinking, her face slick with sweat despite the cold. You pull with her, your hands raw, the oily stain now a slick sheen up to your elbows. Eirik's strength is fading, his breath sharp, while Sven's sobs have turned to silence, his eyes wide and empty. Rolf's chant rises, a counterpoint to the hum, his serpent pendant glinting as he sways, his words sharp and rhythmic, like a blade cutting through fog. Kettle shifts, his pouch swaying, and speaks, his voice cutting through the chaos like a bell. "It's not him," he says, his eyes on the rope. "Not anymore." You freeze, the rope burning in your hands. Frida glances at Kettle, her eyes narrowing, but she doesn't stop pulling. Eirik curses, his voice hoarse, while Rolf's chant falters, his clouded eyes flicking to Kettle. Sven whimpers, his hands trembling as he grips the boat's edge. You want to ask what Kettle means, but the hum drowns your thoughts, its pulse a hammer against your ribs. The glow below is blinding now, its tendrils thicker, curling around the rope like fingers, tugging it downward. The shape shifts, its edges rippling, as if it's no longer solid, but alive, a thing that breathes and watches. You think of Torvald, of his boat swallowed by the sea, of Gunnar's dive into the same abyss. Is Kettle right? Is it not Gunnar you're pulling, but something else? The moral conflict crashes over you, colder than the sea itself. You could keep pulling, fight to bring back whatever's on the other end of the rope, honor the man who dove for Torvald, for the village. But Kettle's words, "Not him, not anymore," claw at you, and the rope feels wrong, alive, its oily stain a mark of something you don't understand. What if you're not saving Gunnar, but inviting something else, something the sea has claimed and changed? You've heard the stories, men pulled from the deep, their bodies whole, but their souls gone, their eyes empty as shells. Cutting the rope, letting it go, might spare you, might keep the boat safe from whatever waits below. But it means betraying Gunnar, abandoning him to the sea's hunger, a choice that will haunt you, a weight the village will never let you forget. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a heartbeat, block a number, walk away, or keep fighting for someone who's already lost. Here, the choice is carved in water and light, and there's no escape. Kettle steps closer, his pouch swaying, his bright eyes locked on the water. He reaches for the rope, his scarred hands brushing yours, and for a moment you feel a jolt, not pain, but something deeper, like a memory you never had. "Let it go," he says, his voice soft but firm, like a command you want to obey. Frida snaps at him, her shells clinking, her voice sharp with defiance. "We don't leave our own," she says, pulling harder, her eyes blazing. Eirik hesitates, his bracelet glinting, his face torn between fear and duty. Rolf's chant resumes, louder now, a wall against the hum, his serpent pendant a beacon in the mist. Sven is useless, his hands shaking, his prayers lost to the wind. The rope jerks again, a violent tug that nearly pulls you over the edge. The boat tilts, water sloshing over the side, cold and heavy with that oily stain. The glow below is unbearable, a green so bright it burns your eyes, its tendrils now thick as ropes, wrapping around the one you hold. The hum is a scream in your mind, not words but images, flashes of stone and metal, of eyes that aren't eyes, of a vastness that swallows thought. You see the shape clearly now, its form shifting, not solid but fluid, a thing that bends the sea around it, that knows you, that wants you. Frida pulls, her shells clinking like a war drum, but the rope fights back, its oily stain spreading, a darkness that feels alive. Kettle's hand is on the rope now, his pouch pressed against your arm, its symbol warm through the leather. "You can't save what's gone," he says, his voice cutting through the hum, through the glow, through your fear. You look at him, at his bright eyes, and see something there, not fear, not anger, but certainty, like he's seen this before, like he knows what waits below. Frida curses, her voice raw, but her strength is fading, her shells clinking slower. Irik's hands slip, his bracelet dull in the green light. Rolf's chant is a roar, his pendant swaying wildly, as if the serpent itself is waking. The boat rocks, the water churns, and the glow pulses, a heartbeat that matches the hum, that matches you. You grip the rope, your hands burning, your heart torn. Cut it, and you might live, but Gunnar is lost, and the village will judge you. There whispers a cage. Pull, and you might save him, or you might doom you all, drawing the sea's wrath, the thing below. The hum sings, the glow watches, and Kettle's pouch presses against you, its symbol a question, a choice, a truth you're not ready to face. The rope pulls, the boat creaks, and the sea waits, its hunger a song, its patience a blade. The rope slips through your fingers, its oily stain a living thing that crawls up your arms, cold and slick as eel skin. You grip tighter, though every pull feels like a betrayal of your own instincts. The hum from the shape below a scream that drowns your thoughts. The green glow pulses wildly, its tendrils wrapping the rope like veins, tugging it downward with a strength that makes the boat groan. Frida's shells clink frantically, her face a mask of defiance as she pulls, her breath ragged. Irik's hands tremble, his rune bracelet dull in the sickly light, while Sven curls into himself, his sobs silent now, his eyes empty. Rolf's chant grows louder, a guttural drone that weaves into the hum, his serpent pendant swaying as he sways, his voice a blasphemy against the hum. Kettle's hand is still on the rope, his spirit pouch warm against your arm, its symbol, an eye, a wound, burning in your mind. His words, not him, not anymore, echo like a curse, and you feel it, the truth of it, in the rope's unnatural weight, in the sea's hungry gaze. The boat lurches, water sloshing over the side, heavy with that dark, oily sheen that smells of burnt iron and decay. The glow below is a fire now, its light so bright it sears your eyes, casting shadows that twist across the boat like living things. The shape is closer, its edges sharp and fluid, not stone or metal but something else, something that breathes, that knows. You see it clearly for a moment, a vast angular form, its surface rippling like liquid, its presence a weight that presses not just on your body but your soul. The hum is no longer a sound but a force, a call that pulls at your mind, showing you flashes of impossible things, corridors of light, eyes that aren't eyes, a vastness that swallows time. You blink, your vision swimming, and grip the rope harder, though you're not sure why, loyalty to Gunnar, fear of the village, or something deeper, something the sea has woven into you. A new figure moves in the boat's shadowed corner, someone you hadn't noticed amid the chaos of the rope and the glow. Her name is Sigrid, a woman whose presence is like smoke, always there, but hard to grasp. She's old, her face lined like cracked earth, her hair white and thin, braided with strips of leather. Sigrid is no fisherman or weaver. She's a healer, her hands stained with the herbs she grinds into pastes, her hut filled with the sharp scent of juniper and bone ash. The villagers seek her for fevers or broken bones, but they fear her too, whispering that she speaks to the dead. that her cures come at a price no one names. Sigrid's eyes are pale, almost colorless, and they see too much, as if peeling back your skin to find the truth beneath. Around Sigrid's neck hangs a charm, not a pendant, but a small stone, smooth and black, pierced with a hole through its center. You've seen such things before, hag stones, the elders call them, said to ward off spirits or reveal what's hidden. The villagers believe they're gifts from the sea, washed ashore by storms, their holes carved by the waves' endless patience. To wear one is to see through the veil, to walk with one foot in the world of the living and one in the unseen. Sigrid's stone glints in the green glow, its hole like an eye that watches you, and you feel a chill, not from the mist, but from the sense that it sees you, knows you, judges you. The rope jerks again, a violent tug that nearly pulls you into the water. Frida curses, her shells clinking like breaking glass, her strength fading. You pull with her, your hands raw, the oily stain now a second skin, its smell choking you. Eirik's face is gray, his bracelet slipping as he fights to hold on. Rolf's chant is a roar, his serpent pendant a blur, while Ketil's bright eyes are fixed on the water, his pouch pressed against you, its symbol a pulse in your mind. Sigrid moves closer, her hag stone swaying, and speaks, her voice thin but sharp, like a needle through cloth. "It's not yours to take," she says, her pale eyes on the rope, not the glow. The sea keeps what it loves. You want to scream, to demand what she means, but the hum is a tide in your skull, drowning everything. The glow pulses faster, its tendrils tightening around the rope, pulling with a force that makes the boat creak, its hull straining. The shape below rises, its form clearer now, a thing of angles and curves, of light and shadow, that bends the water around it like a lens. You see it, and it sees you, its hum a question, a demand, a promise. Ketil's words, not him, not anymore. Mixed with Sigrid's, it's not yours to take. And you feel the rope's wrongness, its weight not Gunnar's, but something else's, something the sea has claimed, something it shaped. The moral conflict is a blade in your gut, twisting with every pull. You could keep fighting, pull the rope until your hands bleed, until you drag whatever's below into the light. Loyalty to Gunnar, to the village, demands it, a debt you owe for the fish he shared, the nets he mended. But the rope is alive, its oily stain a mark of something wrong, and Sigrid's words, Ketil's certainty, tell you it's not Gunnar anymore. What if you pull up a shell, a body that moves but isn't human, a thing that wears Gunnar's face but not his soul? You've heard the stories, drowned men who walk the shore, their voices not their own, their hands cold as the deep. Cutting the rope, letting it go, might save you, might keep the boat from splintering under the sea's wrath. But it means abandoning Gunnar, betraying the village, carrying a guilt that will cling like the oily stain, a mark no fire can burn away. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a moment. Unfollow someone whose posts turn dark, or keep scrolling, hoping they're still there. Here, the choice is written in light and water, and it cuts deeper than bone. Sigrid steps closer, her hag stone glinting, her pale eyes locked on you, not the rope. "Choose," she says, her voice a whisper that cuts through the hum, through the glow, through your fear. Frida snarls, her shells clinking, her hands bleeding as she pulls, refusing to yield. Ketil's hand is steady, his pouch a weight against you, his bright eyes calm, as if he's already chosen. Eirik's strength is gone, his bracelet dull, his face a mask of dread. Rolf's chant is a wall, his serpent pendant aflame, but his eyes are on Sigrid now, as if he knows her words carry truth. Sven is a ghost, his hands useless, his prayers swallowed by the sea. The rope pulls back, a force that shakes the boat, water surging over the side, cold and thick with that oily stain. The glow is a sun now, its light blinding, its tendrils thick as chains, wrapping the rope the boat you. The hum is a song, not sound but feeling, a pull that shows you things, flashes of a world not yours, of skies that burn, of voices that speak in tongues you almost understand. The shape below is alive, its form shifting, growing, a thing that knows your name, that wants you to know it. You see it, and it sees you, its light a mirror, its hum a key. Frida pulls, her shells a battle cry, but the rope fights, its oily stain spreading, a darkness that breathes. Sigrid's hag stone sways, its hole an eye that pierces you, and you feel it, a truth, a choice, a weight. Kettle's pouch is warm, its symbol a pulse, a question. Frida's defiance is a fire, but it's fading, her shells clinking slower. Eirik's hand slip, Rolf's chant wavers, and Sven is lost, a shadow in the glow. The boat creaks, the water churns, the glow pulses, and the hum sings, a song of hunger, of patience, of power. You grip the rope, your hands burning, your heart split. Cut it, and you live, but Gunnar is gone, and the village will cage you in shame. Pull, and you might save him, or you might wake the thing below, a choice that ends you all. The sea watches, its light a blade, its hum a chain, and you stand at its edge, the rope your only anchor, the glow your only truth. Are you still here with me? I'm thrilled about that. If something in this story has caught your attention, or if there's a question dancing in your mind right now, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, we won't keep you waiting any longer. Take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's step into the next chapter of this journey together. Things are about to get even more intense. The rope is a chain in your hands, its oily stain a venom that seeps into your skin, burning with a cold that numbs your fingers. You pull, though every heave feels like a surrender to the sea's will, the hum from the shape below, a tidal wave in your mind, crashing through your thoughts with images of light and shadow, of worlds not your own. The green glow is a sun gone wrong, its tendrils thick as roots, coiling around the rope, around the boat, around you. Frida's shells clink like a dying song, her face etched with exhaustion, her hands bleeding as she fights to hold on. Eirik's strength is gone, his rune bracelet a dull weight, his eyes hollow. Sven is a shadow curled against the boat's side, his prayers lost to the wind. Rolf's chant is a desperate roar, his serpent pendant a flame in the mist, while Sigrid's hag stone sways, its hole an eye that sees too much. Kettle's pouch presses against you, its symbol, an eye, a wound, burning in your mind. His words, not him, not anymore, and Sigrid's, it's not yours to take, bind you tighter than a rope. And you feel it, the sea's hunger, the thing below, watching, waiting, knowing. The boat shudders, its hull creaking as the glow pulses faster. The hum a scream that makes your teeth ache, your vision fracture. The shape below is no longer just a shape, it's a presence, a thing that shifts and breathes, its edges fluid yet sharp, like a dream you can't wake from. You see it, and it sees you, its light a mirror that shows you things, flashes of stone corridors, of skies that burn, of voices that speak in tongues you almost understand. The rope pulls back, a force that nearly yanks you into the water, its oily stain spreading, a darkness that feels alive, that knows your name. Frida grunts, her shells clinking slower, her defiance an ember in a storm. Kettle's bright eyes are calm, his hand steady, while Sigrid's pale gaze cuts through you, her hag stone a judgment. You didn't cut the rope, didn't let go. Fear, loyalty, or the sea's song kept you pulling. And now you're here, on the edge of something you can't unsee. A new figure stirs at the boat's stern, a man you hadn't noticed in the chaos of the glow and the hum. His name is Bjorn, a stranger who came to the village weeks ago, his arrival marked by silence rather than welcome. He's broad, his shoulders heavy with muscle, but his movements are slow, deliberate, like a man carrying a weight no one sees. His face is scarred, not from battle but from fire, the skin puckered and red along his jaw, his eyes dark and deep, like wells that hold no light. Bjorn is no fisherman. He builds, his hands skilled with axe and adze, crafting beams for huts or masts for boats. The villagers rely on him, but they keep their distance, whispering that he fled something, that his scars are a mark of a debt unpaid. His voice is rare, but when he speaks, it's like stone falling, heavy and final. Around Bjorn's wrist is a band of iron, not polished but rough, etched with a single symbol, a hammer, blunt and stark, like a blow waiting to fall. You've heard of such things, Mjolnir charms, tokens of Thor, the thunder god, worn to call his protection, to break the sea's wrath or the spirit's hold. The villagers carved them in wood or bone, but Bjorn's is iron forged, its weight a promise of strength, or a warning of violence. To wear one is to claim Thor's favor, to stand against the deep with fire and storm. Bjorn's fingers brush the band now, his dark eyes fixed on the water, on the glowing shape below, and you feel a shift, not in the boat, but in the air, as if his presence draws the sea's attention, challenges it. The rope jerks again, a violent pull that makes the boat tilt, water surging over the side, cold and thick with that oily stain. Frida stumbles, her shells clinking, her hands slick with blood and oil. You pull with her, your arms burning, the stain a second skin that smells of death and metal. Eirik's hands slip, his bracelet useless, his face a mask of despair. Rolf's chant falters, his serpent pendant still, while Sigrid's hag stone glints, her pale eyes on Bjorn now, as if she sees something in him, something dangerous. Ketil's pouch is a fire against your arm, his bright eyes unyielding, his voice soft but sharp. It's taking him, he says, not to you, but to the sea, to the glow, to the thing below. It's already won. You want to scream, to demand answers, but the hum is a fist in your chest, squeezing your breath, your thoughts. The glow pulses, its tendrils tightening, pulling the rope with a force that makes the boat's timbers groan, as if they'll splinter under the strain. The shape below rises, its form clearer, a thing of angles that don't fit, of eyes that aren't eyes. You see it, and it sees you, its hum a song that shows you things, cities of glass, skies of fire, voices that call your name. Bjorn stands, his iron band glinting, his scarred face set, and speaks, his voice a stone that breaks the hum spell. Let it go, he says, his dark eyes on you, not the rope, or it takes us all. The moral conflict is a noose around your heart, tightening with every pulse of the glow. You could keep pulling, fight to bring back whatever's on the rope, honor Gunnar, the village, the bond that holds you together. But Ketil's words, it's taking him, Sigrid's warning, it's not yours to take. And now Bjorn's command, let it go, tell you the truth you felt in the rope's wrongness, in the oily stain's hunger. What if it's not Gunnar, but a thing the sea has made, a shell with his face, a trap that will drag you all to the deep? You've heard the stories, boats lost to sudden waves, men pulled under by hands that weren't human, their bodies found with eyes like glass. Cutting the rope, letting it go, might save you, might keep the boat afloat, the village safe. But it means abandoning Gunnar, breaking the code, carrying a shame that will burn hotter than Bjorn's scars, a mark the village will carve into you. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a click, delete a message, walk away, or keep fighting for a cause that's already lost. Here, the choice is written in blood and light, and it's heavier than the sea. Bjorn steps closer, his iron band a dull gleam, his dark eyes locked on you, not the glow. Choose, he says, his voice a hammer, like the symbol he wears, blunt and unyielding. Frida snarls, her shells clinking, her hands bleeding as she pulls, her defiance a fire that's nearly out. Ketil's hand is steady, his pouch a pulse, his bright eyes calm, as if he's seen this end before. Sigrid's hagstone sways, her pale eyes sharp, as if she knows your choice before you do. Eirik is useless, his bracelet dull, his strength gone. Rolf's chant is a whisper now, his serpent pendant still, his face pale. Sven is nothing, a ghost in the glow, his hands empty. The rope pulls back, a force that shakes the boat, water surging, thick with that oily stain that smells of death and stars. The glow is a storm, its light blinding, its tendrils chains, wrapping you, pulling you. The hum is a scream, not sound but vision, flashes of a world not yours, of eyes that see too much, of a vastness that knows you. The shape below is alive, its form growing, a thing that bends the sea, that calls your name. Frida pulls, her shell's a dying song, but the rope fights, its stain a darkness that breathes. Bjorn's iron band glints, his scarred face a stone, and you feel it, a choice, a truth, a weight. The boat creaks, the water churns, the glow pulses, and the hum sings a song of hunger, of power, of you. You grip the rope, your hands burning, your heart torn, the sea watching, its light a blade, its hum a chain, its hunger your only truth. The rope is a serpent in your hands, its oily stain a poison that seeps into your veins, cold and alive, whispering of things you shouldn't know. You grip it, your fingers numb, your arms trembling, as you pull against the sea's relentless hunger. The hum from the shape below is a storm in your skull, a cacophony of voices that aren't voices, showing you glimpses of glass cities, burning skies, and eyes that see through time. The green glow is a wound in the world, its tendrils thick as chains, wrapping the rope, the boat, your soul. Frida's shells clink faintly, her strength a fading ember, her hands bleeding rivers that mix with the oily stain. Eirik is a ghost, his rune bracelet dull, his body slumped against the boat side. Sven is gone, not in body but in spirit, his eyes empty as the sea. Rolf's chant is a broken whisper, his serpent pendant still, while Sigrid's hag stone glints, her pale eyes sharp with a truth you can't face. Ketil's pouch burns against your arm, its symbol a pulse, a question, a blade. Bjorn's iron Mjolnir band is a dull weight, his scarred face a stone, his command. Let it go, echoing with Ketil's. Not him, not anymore, and Sigrid's, it's not yours to take. You didn't cut the rope, didn't let go. The sea's song, the village's code, or your own fear kept you pulling, and now you're bound to its will. The boat groans, its timbers splintering under the strain, water surging over the side, thick with that oily stain that smells of death and stars. The glow pulses faster, a heartbeat that shakes the sea, its tendrils tightening, pulling the rope with a force that makes your bones ache. The shape below is alive, its form growing, shifting, a thing of angles and light that bends the water, that knows your name. You see it clearly now, not stone or metal, but something else, something that breathes, that watches, that wants. The hum is a song, not sound but feeling, a call that shows you things, corridors of shadow, voices that speak your fears, a vastness that swallows hope. Frida pulls, her shell's a dying cry, but the rope fights back, its stain a darkness that moves, that hungers. Bjorn stands, his iron band glinting, his dark eyes locked on you, his command, choose, echoing in your mind. A new figure moves at the boat's edge, a woman you hadn't noticed in the chaos of the glow and the hum. Her name is Ylva, a wanderer who came to the village under a storm shadow, her presence sharp and fleeting, like a blade drawn and sheathed. She's young, her face unlined but hard, her eyes green as the sea's depths, her hair braided tight with beads of amber that catch the glow. Ylva is no villager. She hunts, her bow and knife her only companions, her steps silent on the cliffs where she tracks deer or seals. The villagers trade with her for hides, but they whisper of her solitude, of nights spent under stars, of songs she sings to no one. Ylva's voice is rare, but when she speaks, it's like the wind, soft but cutting. carrying truths you'd rather not hear. Around Ylva's neck hangs a charm, not stone or metal, but a feather, black and sleek, tied with a thin cord of leather. You've heard of such things, raven feathers, tokens of Odin, the all-seeing god, worn to seek his wisdom, to walk the paths between worlds. The villagers fear them, whispering that to carry a raven's feather is to invite Odin's gaze, to see what mortals shouldn't, to know what breaks the mind. Ylva's feather sways now, its edges sharp in the green glow, and you feel a chill, not from the mist, but from the sense that it watches, that it knows. Her green eyes are on the water, on the glowing shape below, and you sense a shift, not in the boat, but in the world, as if her presence calls something older, something that listens. The rope jerks again, a violent tug that nearly pulls you over the edge. The boat tilts, water surging, cold and heavy, with that oily stain that clings like a second skin. Frida stumbles, her shells clinking, her hands raw, her defiance a flicker in the storm. You pull with her, your arms screaming, the stain of fire that burns without heat. Eirik is useless, his bracelet await, his body limp. Rolf's chant is gone, his serpent pendant dull, his face pale as death. Sigrid's hag stone sways, her pale eyes on Ylva now, as if she sees something in her, something inevitable. Ketil's pouch pulses, his bright eyes calm, his voice a whisper. "It's not ours," he says, "not to you, but to the sea, to the thing below." Bjorn's iron band glints, his scarred face unyielding, his command a stone in your mind. Ylva steps closer, her feather swaying, her green eyes sharp as knives. She doesn't touch the rope but leans over the edge, her amber beads glinting, her face calm but tense, like a hunter sighting prey. "It's awake," she says, her voice soft but clear, like a bell in the fog. "And it's hungry." Her words cut through the hum, through the glow, through your fear, and you feel them, a truth that sinks like a stone. The shape below pulses, its tendrils tightening, its light a storm that blinds you, its hum a song that knows you, that wants you. You think of Gunnar, of Torvald, of the village, of the code that binds you. Is it Gunnar on the rope, or something else, something the sea has shaped, something that wears his face but not his soul? The moral conflict is a fire in your chest, burning with every pulse of the glow. You could keep pulling, fight to bring back whatever's on the rope, honor Gunnar, the village, the bond that holds you together. But Ylva's words, "It's awake, it's hungry," echo with Ketil's, Sigrid's, Bjorn's, a chorus that tells you the rope is a trap, its oily stain a mark of something wrong, something that will drag you all to the deep. What if you pull up a thing that isn't Gunnar, a shell with eyes like glass, a creature that speaks with his voice but not his heart? You've heard the stories, men who return from the sea, their bodies whole, but their souls gone, their hands cold as ice. Cutting the rope, letting it go, might save you, might keep the boat from splintering, the village from ruin. But it means abandoning Gunnar, breaking the code, carrying a shame that will cut deeper than Ylva's knife, a wound the village will never forgive. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a moment, block a contact, walk away, or keep fighting for someone who's no longer there. Here, the choice is written in light and blood, and it's heavier than the world. Ylva kneels, her feather glinting, her green eyes locked on the water, not the rope. "You can't fight it," she says, her voice a wind that carries no comfort, only truth. Frida snarls, her shells clinking, her hands bleeding as she pulls, her fire nearly out. Ketil's hand is steady, his pouch a pulse, his bright eyes calm, as if he's seen this end. Sigrid's hagstone sways, her pale eyes sharp, as if she knows your choice. Bjorn stands, his iron band a dull gleam, his scarred face a stone, his command, "Choose," a weight you can't bear. Eirik is nothing, Rolf is silent, Sven is lost, their faces shadows in the glow. The rope pulls back, a force that shakes the boat, water surging, thick with that oily stain that smells of death and light. The glow is a sun, its light blinding, its tendrils chains, wrapping you, pulling you. The hum is a scream, not sound but vision, flashes of a world not yours, of eyes that see too much, of a vastness that knows you. The shape below is alive, its form growing, a thing that bends the sea, that calls your name. Frida pulls, her shell's a dying song, but the rope fights, its staying a darkness that breathes. Ilva's feather sways, her green eyes a blade, and you feel it, a choice, a truth, a weight. The boat creaks, the water churns, the glow pulses, and the hum sings a song of hunger, of power, of you. You grip the rope, your hands burning, your heart torn, the sea watching, its light a fire, its hum a chain, its hunger your only truth. The rope is a noose in your hands, its oily stain a shadow that crawls beneath your skin, cold and heavy, whispering secrets you'd rather forget. You grip it, your fingers raw, your arms shaking as you pull against the sea's unyielding will. The hum from the shape below a blade in your mind, carving visions of shattered worlds, of eyes that burn, of voices that know your fears. The green glow is a storm, its tendrils thick as roots, binding the rope, the boat, your breath. Frida's shells clink like a funeral bell, her hands bleeding, her defiance a spark in a dying fire. Eirik is a shadow, his rune bracelet dull, his body limp against the boat's side. Sven is lost, his eyes hollow, his soul swallowed by the sea. Rolf's chant is silent, his serpent pendant still, his face pale as bone. Sigrid's hagstone sways, her pale eyes sharp, while Ketil's pouch pulses against your arm, its symbol a wound that throbs with truth. Bjorn's iron Mjolnir band glints faintly, his scarred face a stone, his command, choose, echoing with Ylva's warning. It's awake, it's hungry, a chorus that binds you to the rope, to the sea, to the thing below. You didn't cut it, didn't let go. The village's code, the weight of shame, or the hum's siren call kept you pulling. And now you're here, teetering on the edge of a truth that could break you. The boat shudders, its hull splintering, water surging over the side, thick with that oily stain that smells of ash and stars, a scent that clings to your throat like a curse. The glow pulses wildly, a heartbeat that shakes the sea, its tendrils tightening, pulling the rope with a force that makes your bones scream. The shape below is no longer a shape, it's a god, a demon, a thing that breathes and grows, its edges sharp yet fluid. Its light a mirror that shows you things you can't unsee, corridors of glass, skies that bleed, voices that whisper your name. The hum is a tide, not sound but feeling, a pull that drowns your thoughts, that shows you a world not yours, a vastness that knows you, that wants you. Frida pulls, her shell's a fading cry, but the rope fights, its stain a darkness that moves, that lives. Ylva kneels, her raven feather glinting, her green eyes locked on the water, her voice a wind that cuts through the hum. You can't fight it. And you know she's right, but your hands won't let go. A new figure stirs at the boat's bow, a man you hadn't noticed in the chaos of the glow and the hum. His name is Leif, a wanderer who came to the village under a moonless sky. His presence quiet but heavy, like a stone dropped in still water. He's neither young nor old, his face weathered but unscarred, his eyes gray as the sea before a storm, seeing too much, revealing too little. Leif is no fisherman or builder, he's a storyteller. His tales woven by firelight, stories of gods and spirits, of seas that swallow worlds. The villagers listen rapt, but they fear him, whispering that his stories aren't just tales, that they call things, summon things, bind things. Leif's voice is soft, like a river over stones, but it carries a weight that makes you lean closer, makes you believe. Around Leif's neck hangs a charm, not stone or feather, but a small bone, carved with a spiral that twists inward, like a whirlpool frozen in time. You've heard of such things, sea spirals, the elders call them, tokens of the deep, said to hold the sea's secrets, to guide the lost or trap the unwary. The villagers avoid them, believing they're cursed, that to touch one is to hear the sea's voice, to know its hunger. Leif's spiral glints in the green glow, its curve sharp, and you feel a pull, not from the rope, but from the bone, as if it sees you, as if it knows. His gray eyes are on the water, on the glowing shape below, and you sense a shift, not in the boat, but in the air, as if his presence stirs something ancient, something that listens. The rope jerks again, a violent tug that nearly pulls you into the sea. The boat tilts, water surging, cold and heavy with that oily stain that burns your skin, its smell choking you, a mix of metal and decay. Frida stumbles, her shells clinking, her hands raw, her strength a whisper. You pull with her, your arms burning, the stain of fire that sears without light. Ylva's feather sways, her green eyes sharp, while Bjorn's iron band glints, his scarred face unyielding. Sigrid's hag stone glints, her pale eyes on Leif now, as if she sees something in him, something inevitable. Kettle's pouch pulses, his bright eyes calm, his voice a murmur. It's claiming us, he says, not to you, but to the sea, to the thing below. Leif moves closer, his sea spiral swaying, and speaks, his voice soft but heavy, like a stone sinking into the deep. It's not yours to hold, he says, his gray eyes on the rope, not the glow. It never was. You want to scream, to demand what he means, but the hum is a fist in your mind, crushing your thoughts, your breath. The glow pulses, its tendrils tightening, pulling the rope with a force that makes the boat's timbers crack, as if they'll shatter under the strain. The shape below rises, its form clearer, a thing of light and shadow, of angles that don't fit, of eyes that see too much. You see it, and it sees you. It's hum a song that shows you things, cities of stone, skies of ash, voices that call your name. Leif's words, it's not yours to hold, echo with Ylva's, Bjorn's, Sigrid's, Kettle's, a chorus that tells you the rope is a lie, its oily stain a mark of something wrong, something that will drag you all to the deep. The moral conflict is a storm in your heart, raging with every pulse of the glow. You could keep pulling, fight to bring back whatever's on the rope, honor Gunnar, the village, the bond that ties you to the shore. But Leif's words, Ylva's warning, the weight of every voice tells you it's not Gunnar, not anymore, a thing the sea has shaped, a shell with his face, a trap that will swallow you all. What if you pull up a creature that speaks with his voice but not his soul, a thing with eyes like stars, hands like ice? You've heard the stories, men who return from the deep, their bodies whole, but their spirits gone, their voices a song that kills. Cutting the rope, letting it go, might save you, might keep the boat from breaking, the village from ruin. But it means abandoning Gunnar, betraying the code, carrying a shame that will burn like leaf spiral, a wound the village will carve into your bones. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a heartbeat. Delete a thread, walk away, or keep fighting for someone who's no longer there. Here, the choice is written in light and shadow, and it's heavier than the sea. Leif steps closer, his sea spiral glinting, his gray eyes locked on you, not the glow. Release it, he says, his voice a river that carries no comfort, only truth. Frida snarls, her shells clinking, her hands bleeding as she pulls, her fire a flicker in the storm. Ylva's feather sways, her green eyes sharp, as if she's already chosen. Bjorn's iron band glints, his scarred face a stone, his command a weight you can't bear. Sigrid's hagstone sways, her pale eyes sharp, as if she knows your choice. Kettle's pouch pulses, his bright eyes calm, as if he's seen this end. Eirik is nothing, Rolf is silent, Sven is lost, their faces shadows in the glow. The rope pulls back, a force that shakes the boat, water surging, thick with that oily stain that smells of death and light. The glow is a sun, its light blinding, its tendrils chains, wrapping you, pulling you. The hum is a scream, not sound but vision, flashes of a world not yours, of eyes that see too much, of a vastness that knows you. The shape below is alive, its form growing, a thing that bends the sea, that calls your name. Frida pulls, her shells a dying song, but the rope fights, its stain a darkness that breathes. Leif's sea spiral sways, his gray eyes a blade, and you feel it, a choice, a truth, a weight. The boat creaks, the water churns, the glow pulses, and the hum sings, a song of hunger, of power, of you. You grip the rope, your hands burning, your heart torn, the sea watching, its light a fire, its hum a chain, its hunger your only truth. The rope is a chain of fire in your hands, its oily stain a venom that has seeped into your soul, cold and heavy, whispering truths you can't unhear. You stand on the edge of the boat, your body trembling, your heart torn as the hum from the shape below roars through you. A tide of visions, glass cities, burning skies, voices that know your name. The green glow is a sun, its tendrils chains that bind the rope, the boat, your will. Frida's shells are silent, her hands bleeding, her defiance a ghost. Eirik is gone, his rune bracelet dull, his body slumped. Sven is a shadow, his eyes empty. Rolf's serpent pendant is still, his chant dead. Sigrid's hag stone sways, her pale eyes sharp, while Ketil's pouch pulses, its symbol a wound. Bjorn's iron Mjolnir band glints, his scarred face a stone, and Ylva's raven feather sways, her green eyes a blade. Leif's sea spiral glints, his gray eyes heavy with stories you'll never hear. You've journeyed far, from the village's firelit whispers to this shattered boat, from Torvald's lost boat to Gunnar's dive, from Astrid's sunwheel to Leaf spiral, each step a choice, each choice a weight. You didn't cut the rope, didn't let go. The village's code, the fear of shame, or the sea's song held you fast, and now you face the end, the truth of the Baltic's heart. The boat cracks, its hull splintering, water surging over the side, thick with that oily stain that smells of ash and stars, a scent that burns your lungs. The glow pulses wildly, a heartbeat that shakes the sea, its tendrils tightening, pulling the rope with a force that makes your bones ache. The shape below is alive, its form vast, a thing of angles and shadows, of eyes that aren't eyes, of light that knows you. The hum is a scream, not sound but feeling, a call that shows you a world not yours, a vastness that wants you. You've seen it grow, from Torvald's whispered anomaly to this god, this demon, this thing that breathes and hungers. Frida's hands slip, her shells falling silent, her strength gone. Ylva kneels, her feather still, while Bjorn stands, his iron band dull. Sigrid's hag stone glints, Ketil's pouch burns, Leaf's spiral sways, and you grip the rope, your hands raw, your heart split. A new figure stirs at the boat's shattered edge, a woman you hadn't noticed in the chaos of the glow and the hum. Her name is Runa, an elder who rarely leaves her hut, her presence a whisper in the village, like a wind that carries forgotten songs. She's ancient, her face a map of wrinkles, her eyes milky but sharp, seeing beyond the veil. Runa is no healer or hunter. She's a keeper of rites, her hands stained with ochre from the symbols she paints on stones, her voice a chant that binds the living to the dead. The villagers revere her, but they fear her, whispering that she speaks to the old gods, that her rites hold the sea at bay. Her voice is rare, but when she speaks, it's like the earth moving, slow and final. Around Runa's neck hangs a charm, a small disc of amber, warm and golden, etched with a tree, its branches and roots entwined, a symbol of Yggdrasil, the world tree, the axis of all things. The villagers call it a life charm, worn to anchor the soul, to tether the living to the earth against the sea's pull, to where one is to stand with the gods, to defy the deep's hunger. Runa's amber glints in the green glow, its tree sharp, and you feel a pull, not from the rope, but from a charm, as if it holds you, as if it knows. Her milky eyes are on you, not the water, and you sense a shift, as if her presence calls the earth to answer the sea. The rope jerks, a final tug that cracks the boat's spine, water surging, cold and heavy with that oily stain. You pull, your hands bleeding, the stain of fire that burns your soul. The glow pulses, its tendrils tightening. the hum a song that screams your name. Runa steps closer, her amber charm swaying, and speaks, her voice a stone in the storm. "It's not yours to save," she says, her milky eyes locked on you. "It never was." Her words echo Leif's, Ylva's, Bjorn's, a truth that cuts deeper than the sea. The shape below rises, its form vast, a thing that bends the world, that knows you, that wants you. You see it, and it sees you, its light a mirror, its hum a key. The moral conflict is a wound in your heart, bleeding with every pulse of the glow. You could keep pulling, fight to bring back whatever's on the rope, honor Gunnar, the village, the bond that ties you to the shore. But Runa's words, the chorus of voices, the rope's wrongness, tell you it's not Gunnar, a thing the sea has shaped, a trap that will swallow you all. What if you pull up a creature that wears his face, a shell with eyes like voids, a voice that kills? Cutting the rope might save you, might keep the village from ruin, but it means betraying Gunnar, breaking the code, carrying a shame that will burn like Runa's amber, a wound that will never heal. You think of the modern world, where you'd face a choice like this in a click: cut a tie, walk away, or fight for someone lost. Here, the choice is written in blood and light, and it's the end. You look at Runa, her amber charm glinting, her milky eyes seeing your soul. You look at the rope, its oily stain a chain, the glow of fire, the hum a song. You choose. Your hands release, the rope slipping, the sea claiming it with a hiss, the glow fading, the hum softening to a whisper. The boat stills, the water calms, the shape below sinks, its light dimming, its hunger sated. Frida collapses, her shell silent. Ylva's feather sways, Bjorn's iron band dull, Sigurd's hagstone still, Kettle's pouch cold, Leif's spiral quiet. Runa's amber glints, her eyes steady, and you feel it, a weight lifted, a shame borne. You've saved the village, but you've lost Gunnar, and the village will judge you. Their whispers a cage. The boat drifts, the sea silent, the glow gone. You row back, the shore a shadow, the village waiting. You face the anomaly, its truth a scar, and you carry it, a story no one will believe, a choice no one will forgive. The sea keeps its secrets, and you keep yours, bound by the amber's light, the spiral's pull, the village's code. Thank you, truly, for joining me through every twist, every turn, every quiet moment, and every journey. It's been an adventure, and I'm grateful to have shared it with you. As we close this story, I wish you a peaceful evening. May you have a restful night, deep sleep, and dreams filled with wonder and light. Rest well, you've earned it. And if you hear the sound of waves in your dreams, don't look into the water. It might be something looking back at you. And when you're ready for the next story, I'll be here, waiting to journey with you again. Before you go, if you enjoyed this story, don't hesitate to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what moved you, surprised you, or lingered with you long after the story ends. Until we meet again, good night, and I'll see you in the next adventure.